Hey everybody, XL 10-minute leaders live. 10 minutes to change, to do things better. If you are in the business of speaking, training, or consultant, you might want to know how you can jumpstart your career. Not doing it the hard way, work smarter rather than just working harder. To do that, I'm joined by a special guest all the way from the US, Ted Janusz. Ted, welcome to the show.
It's a blast to be here, Graham.
Yeah. Looks like it is going to be a blast. A very colorful background as well. You're bringing the energy. Well,
Thank you.
For us, it's afternoon, but for you, it must be evening.
Very late in the evening, yes.
Gotcha. All right, noted on that. But thank you so much for staying up late for this. We've got 10 minutes together. Ted, are you ready?
I am ready, Graham.
So the first one up in front of us on the screen is, what does it say on your business card?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me that question, so I brought one. And it says, professional speaker.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You get paid to speak, or do you teach people to speak?
Both, yes. I make money doing what most people hate to do.
Yeah,
The number one fear, as you know, even more so than death.
What is the problem with that? Why are people scared of public?
I think it's because they're afraid they're going to be judged, or somebody's going to laugh at them, or make fun of their ideas. I think that's the reason people fear public speaking more than death, Graham.
Do you feel the butterflies when you get up and speak?
Yes, but I think everybody does, and everybody should. I think you're not human if you don't. The key to success, Graham, is to just get those butterflies to fly in formation, to make you rise up to a higher level than you would if you didn't have those butterflies. So the thing is not to fight them, but to get them to fly in formation.
Now, I'm wondering what you're good at. What's your superpower? What makes you good as a public speaker, and how do you go about it? In particular, I see a lot of people do presentations. We've seen the presentations.
Oh, sure.
The PowerPoint, the bullet points.
Oh, yeah.
And it's death by a bullet point.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully you do it better. So what's your superpower, Ted?
Okay. I think the key to success in giving presentations, Graham, is connection. If you make a connection with the audience, you can do anything. If you don't make a connection, you could be the best orator on the planet, and people are going to tune you out. So you have to get people to like you. You have to engage with people. You have to relate to people. And if you do that, then you can plug in the content.
How do you do that on stage? Or let's talk about on stage first, and then we'll talk about it in this context.
You have to know your audience, first of all. Who is it you're speaking to? And then secondly, you have to have your material down cold. And most importantly, you have to figure out in that material, Graham, what's in it for them? Why should they care? So what? Not just because you're the sage on the stage, or you show up and throw up, or you pour and they snore. It's, how is this going to benefit me today? Because we've had our fill with those college professors who just drone on and on and on. No, give me something that I can put into place as soon as I get back to the office, as soon as I get back to home, and it's going to make a difference in my life and the people around me. That's what they're looking for.
In this context, when you're doing podcasts, for example, or live shows, when you're the guest, how do you create that connection when you can't see the audience?
Well, one of the things I like to do is find out more about the host, because this isn't about me; it's about the audience and the needs of the audience. I know, for instance, that you have written 7 books. You are an Ironman triathlete. I admire that. I can't swim, so all I've done is run. I've run 40,000 miles. So.
Not in a single race, please.
No, not in a single race, but over my lifetime, I've run 40,000 miles, and I haven't written 7 books, but I have written a book recently, and you mentioned this, Superpower Marketing and Branding for Professional Speakers and Trainers.
Bring it up so we can see it. There we go.
There we go. And the reason I mention this is that people don't hire speakers, Graham. They want to hire experts who speak. And one of the best ways that you can prove that you're an expert, such as you have 7 times, is to write a book.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes that can seem intimidating. You sit down with pen and paper. I don't know how you did it, and nothing comes out. So I wanted to give your audience some tips on how to set yourself apart as an expert by writing a book. And probably the easiest thing to do is to record your presentation, either audio or video record, and then you can upload it to a site called rev.com. Are you familiar with them, Graham?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and what they'll do is that they'll like I gave an hour-long presentation recently. I uploaded it to Rev, paid $1.25 25 cents US dollars to get that transcribed. I had an 11,000 word document, which is what I turned into the ebook. Now, obviously, you're going to write differently than you speak, but that's so much better than starting with a blank piece of paper. And that was 80% of the work right there. And I love to edit. I hate to write. Ernest Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober. Maybe he didn't mean that exactly that way, but it's just so much easier. And then what you can do is take that Word document, the Microsoft Word document, and you upload it to Kindle Direct Publishing. And they'll take that Word document and make it look like a book. Now, the only thing you're missing is a cover. And it really bothers me to see self-published authors make their own covers. Because, we judge a book by a cover. I took a look at your books. They look fantastic. But don't do your own cover. Yet it doesn't have to be expensive. I've gone to another site called Fiverr. Have you heard of Fiverr, Graham?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. And there's one artist in particular that I use, and he's the one who did my book here. Ebook cover _expert. Ebook cover _expert. And for $5, Graham, he'll give you a cover that looks like this, that looks like it came from a major publishing house. Like I said, we judge a book by its cover, so make sure the cover looks great. So you can publish your own ebook for $5. That's it.
Amazing. Like compared to what it would have cost us years ago.
Oh, yes. I remember, Graham. The only way I could get a decent price on my first book was to order 2,000 copies.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen 2,000 copies of a book? They came on a pallet.
Yeah.
I had to store them in my basement, attic, and garage.
Wow.
My neighbor's basement, attic, and garage. They got moldy. I had to throw them away. Don't do that. Now what you can do when you give a presentation is just print on demand 20 or 25 copies, maybe 50. You have them at the back of the room. And you can print on demand for less than $5 a copy. You sell it for $20. You made $15 right there. And people are going to want to take your book home because they love you. They want to take a piece of you home with, even if they don't look at the book. I think like 15% of books even get cracked open. But that's a great way to make revenue. And these books are actually marketing materials that your potential clients will buy. And the way to do it is in the book, you subtly market yourself by talking about other clients as a speaker, as a trainer, as a consultant you've helped. And people will see themselves in this story and they'll say, boy, Graham has helped all these people. I bet he could help me too.
Yeah, there's the social proof. Absolutely. I think it's great advice, Ted, that so many, for example, one of the things that I do is I help authors, I help thought leaders get onto other people's podcasts. And it's amazing that when they realize that that person's written a book, the receptiveness to them as a guest is suddenly 10x. If they haven't written a book, it's like, well, they haven't even consolidated their thoughts yet. But if they're an author, they're an author. They may never read the book, but they're an author. Right. That's a big deal.
I remember a presentation I went to, Graham, where I brought my book with me, and the lady in the audience looked up at me with awe. She said, "Will you autograph this book?" I mean, I think I love it. I think I was the first published author she ever came across. So it's like, oh, what reverence! Oh my gosh, you've written a book. Yeah. You are the expert. Exactly right.
It's amazing, isn't it? I think mainly, I mean, obviously, in the old days, like publishing a book was a massive deal.
Oh my
and it was a lot of
goodness.
work, like getting on
Yes.
TV. But I think the
Right.
main point is like what people really revere is you put yourself out there. You know, you've exposed yourself literally in like your thoughts and your feelings about a subject. And secondly, you spent time to gather your
Yeah.
thoughts,
And
which
did
is
the
really important.
research.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that sort of qualifies you. So the risk of getting an author onto a podcast as opposed to just somebody who's got an idea is much lower. And that's what they're buying into with
Yeah.
authors. And yeah, I think it's fantastic advice. Like anybody out there, just publish a book and like read Ted's book, for God's sake. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to take a whole lifetime to get this thing done, right?
Oh no,
And
I told you how I did it. I told you how
there
I
you
did
go.
it. Yeah.
All right, then. Well, I'm sure people want to find out more about how you did it, Ted. So let's put it out there.
Please, I'd be happy to
Yeah.
help, Graham.
Where can people find out more about you, Ted?
Okay. My website, which is januspresentations.com, spelled Janus presentations.com. And feel free to send me an email. Be happy to help you. It's ted@januspresentations.com, Graham.
There you go. Ted Janusz, everybody, helping you jumpstart speaking, training, consulting.
Show yourself
Write
to be
that
an
book.
expert by writing the book, and you
Let's
can
do
do
it.
it.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you, Graham. Like I said, it was a blast.